time that you see environmental injury, you also see a failure of government, a failure of democracy. Democracy and the environment are intertwined. You also see a violation of civil rights. And pollution is a theft. It's a theft of publicly owned resources, of air, of water, of quality of life, of our aquifers, the shared resources of our society.
Hey, Wayne.
How are you, sir?
You know I didn't forget you, right? Wayne, this is Bobby.
Hey.
Bobby, it's a pleasure to meet you. I'm so glad you showed up.
This could not happen in Bedford, New York. It couldn't happen in Greenwich, Connecticut. It couldn't happen in Bel Air, California. It could happen. This type of thing only happens in communities that don't have the resources or the political clout to defend themselves from the big polluters.
Oh, Free, where's the button? Oh,
and oftentimes what we see is that government is in cahoots with the polluters and allows these kind of things to happen.
It's important to the community for them to know that people care. That it's not just, oh, well, it happened in the past and, you're on your own now. And having Robert Kennedy, who's a national figure, come up here, it speaks volumes to the regional implications, to the national implications of a site like Upper Ringwood, because it's the first site to be relisted on the Superfund list. It has a national meaning. It means something to the whole nation that this site be cleaned up. That the EPA do what they were mandated by Congress to do, which is to make sure that this site doesn't poison the people anymore that live up here. And right now the EPA hasn't done that.
You could not like someone, you could not dislike someone enough to poison them. You would have to hate someone by color, by culture, by their social status, whether powerful or weak. And the message that should be sent to all industry, and mostly you, Ford, that if you poison, you will pay.
Well, he is one of the lawyers involved with a lawsuit against Ford Motor Company and the Borough of Ringwood. So having him tour the site, I guess, would be part of what he would want to do, since he's one of the attorneys involved. His partner's been involved in others, but I hope he was pleased with the cleanup efforts he's seen.
You sit here and say, how could a company, human beings made this decision, and they knew these houses were here, and yet they were dumping that paint. And these people, in many ways, they're not, wealthy people, but they were living in a paradise. And this company was like the snake coming into paradise and taking these beautiful streams and turning them into poison. And they're hunting wild game, and we found that there's lead in the squirrels, there's lead in the groundwater, there's arsenic, and this is crime, this is theft, it's child abuse, it's assault and battery, in some cases it's murder, right? And there's been a failure of government and a failure of democracy.
We're going to say goodbye. Thanks a lot.